Hello, I'm Steve Boyce, and welcome to B-Dance. Thank you for investing your valuable time with us today. This is part one of our three-part series entitled Close the Success Gap and Achieve Your Desired Business Outcomes, how to ensure success with your digital engagement and communications programs. Today's segment is titled Understanding the Success Gap, and I'm excited to be joined by Adam Mankoff, co-founder and principal with B-Dance. Adam, welcome to the program.
Hey, it's great to be here today. Thanks for having me, Steve.
Sure thing. Now, Adam, you've been a bit of a pioneer in the digital engagement and communications space. Tell us a little bit about your background.
I've been working in the digital engagement communication space for a little over 20 years. And it started from a previous venture of mine out of the food distribution marketplace, where we created and ran one of the world's first virtual online events back in 1999, which, by the way, we delivered on dial-up.
Wow.
So it was an interesting experience, needless to say.
Sure.
But we quickly understood the effectiveness of reaching an audience online that couldn't be in a physical space.
Right.
So with that, over the course of the next few years, we delivered a series of successful virtual online events. And ultimately, I started and co-founded a new company called InExpo, where we became the leading provider of virtual online events and webcasting video enterprise technology software. We successfully sold that company a little over a year ago to West Communications, now known as Intrado.
Okay.
But I really enjoyed over the years working with large and small companies to leverage this type of technology.
Fantastic, Adam. That's quite a journey, and I love that nod to the dial-up days. Some of our audience members may not have had an experience with dial-up, so it's nice to reminisce a little bit. Now, you like to talk about something that you call the success gap, which is, of course, the focus of our series. Why don't we start with having you explain what is the success gap and how is it relevant to digital engagement and communications?
Well, the success gap is the difference between the functional capabilities of utilizing this type of online communication technology and successfully leveraging that technology to achieve your desired business results.
Okay.
So the gap, which includes a variety of critical elements that we like to call the appropriate conditions for success. And those are very critical in the ability to achieve those results that you're looking for.
Very interesting. And, I can almost see a formula, right, where you start with the technology feature functionality and capabilities. You add in these appropriate conditions for success, and the combination of those enables companies to actually achieve their desired business outcome. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's exactly how we think about it. There's three most critical conditions, I think, that need to be established for the strategic aspect of these conditions for success.
Okay.
The first being the senior buy-in. You have to have senior executive buy-in in order to have the technology viewed as strategic within that organization.
Right.
The second is ensuring the alignment with the company business objectives. So that's also very critical, is that alignment aspect, because once you have executives that have bought into the technology, they'll want to know that it's being used in a manner that's aligned with the company's business objectives and critical initiatives.
Of course.
Third element is the ability to measure business impact and value creation, which really brings it all together. So it brings it all together for the company business executives. It's the ability to measure and quantify that value that's created through the use of this technology.
Fantastic. And I love the way you've laid out those strategic conditions, Adam, the senior executive buy-in, making sure that the use of the technology is aligned with the company's business objectives and key initiatives. And a really important point, I think, as you sum those up, ensuring that the company has the ability to measure the business impact and value creation as opposed to just activity metrics, which we so often see people over-focus on that as opposed to the actual value creation for the business. Now, leads me to wonder, with these three strategic conditions for success. Are there other conditions for success that exist on a more operational level?
Exactly. So you've got your strategic elements that certainly are appropriate for conditions of success, but then there's the operational side. So when you think about onboarding of this type of technology, which is one of the first conditions for success on the operational side.
Hmm.
It's really getting people that are initially hesitant to embrace this type of new technology over that hurdle.
Hmm.
And you do that through the second operational aspect that we like to talk about, which is early adoption and consistent usage. So it's really important to get these companies quickly embedding this type of new technology into their key operations and activities.
Hmm.
The third would be the high perceived value
Hmm.
and strategic value that relates to how leaders in the organization communicate with the users of the technology about its benefits to the enterprise.
Hmm.
And then the fourth is stronger user support. So as this new technology gets into the enterprise, there's always an initial learning curve that folks need to work through. But as they become more sophisticated with the technology, then the support and resources must be made available throughout that to achieve those business results they're looking for.
Fantastic. I love how you've organized both strategic and operational considerations for success. And certainly they're all related, right, in driving those desired business outcomes. So, Adam, thank you for explaining to us today this critical concept of the success gap and for sharing your insights and perspectives on how companies can create the appropriate conditions for success, both strategic and operational, to get the most value out of their investments in digital engagement and communications technologies.
Well, thanks for having me today, and I look forward to talking with you again.
Thank you very much. And thank you to our audience for investing your valuable time with us today. We hope you enjoyed this segment. And please tune in for part 2 of this series, where we'll talk with Adam about the challenges that technology providers have in helping their customers to close that success gap. Until then, thanks for joining us here at BDance.